out there. And one of the things that I think I really tried to pick up on is, even if something's broken, it's okay to mention it's broken. It's a good idea to mention it's broken, but also have an idea how to fix it. Always be mindful that other people probably know it's broken, but they're all looking for ways to fix it.
Would anyone else like to jump in for that question? You stated your physical school, what motivated your decision, and what has your experience been?
Okay. This may be the same facility or school. My school has a lot of turnover every year. Teachers and also administrators. This is my 5th year there and my 4th year principal. And we also have our own superintendent over just our school, our K-12 school, and our current superintendent in my 5 years there. And kids notice those things. Even the young ones, they pick up on that stuff, and I just think it's really important for them to have some adults there who they see stay there, and just show they care. There's several kids that I had a couple years ago. I was just thinking about this today, actually, who I'm like their only teacher who they've had so far. Here in 5th grade now, and they'll notice who's still there. And they notice that kind of stuff. And a girl, I don't know when this was, maybe my 2nd or 3rd year, who I had in 5th grade, that's what I taught my 1st year. She asked me, because it's a K-12 school, and she said, "You're still going to be here when we graduate, right?" Because, I was still there after at least 2 or 3 years. I can't remember when that was. And it just kind of came out of my mouth like, "Oh, yeah." So, but, like that kind of stuff is important to them. And I think it's easy to forget about that. But when they see teachers come and go and administrators come and go all the time, I just think it's really important for them to see some of this stuff.
Thank you. So we're going to take one more, or we're going to ask one more question to the panel, and then we're going to take audience questions. So if you're writing the question down, Julie and Shannon are at the ends of the road, so just pass them over and then they'll bring them up here. Last question that I'll ask you for the evening is, what are the most important next steps teachers should take if they are considering a 3rd year? Right now in November, right? So put yourself back in November of your 2nd year. What would you recommend? What next step would you recommend to teachers considering staying?
Tell somebody at school what you're planning on saying and what you want to meet with.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Lauren, what do you think?
I think first tell someone and then take a deep breath, because all of your friends are applying to grad school and applying to like 6,000 million different jobs. And so I remember very clearly looking around and shouldn't I be doing something right now? Shouldn't I be doing something right now? But just within the calendar, in my experience at least, within the calendar of the district, within the calendar of like when teachers hire, November is really not. So tell somebody and then take a deep breath, and don't maybe try and get too impatient. If you want to stay put, as long as somebody knows about it, you can try and relax a little bit, and when your friends are taking their GREs, sleep in. Enjoy it, while they're like traveling off to 1,000 different med schools. Enjoy it. And just enjoy this art of nature. You don't have to, I remember feeling very anxious, I guess is what I'm saying. Very anxious about like, oh, where's the calendar? Like I want confirmation on my job now. Where's my contract? Where's my contract? Where's my contract? And this is not, November is not the time to get a contract. Don't go.
And know that staying means not that it means you're making an impact, even greater impact on the students in Kansas City. I remember back when I was considering what to do next, it felt like maybe I should go to law school or med school or something. But actually, teaching is the most awesome job you have, in my opinion. Would anybody else like to speak to that?
I'll just say if you're starting to consider staying here, like the more positive stuff you can put on like coming to terms with that decision, like easier it will come. A lot of us are super rational about like the pros and cons of staying, but if you're starting to lean towards staying, like, just embrace that challenge and feel very happy about it. And, I mean, I know that they told you this in, you know, the first year, like, your second year is better, but I can tell you the third is way better. And, I would say that, you know, like, I would love to see a lot of teachers that even on their second year, they kind of struggle, to kind of, like, get that third year, and then say, all right, I'm done, I can go to med school, I can go to law school, and you kind of, like, get out of the system, like, feeling better about yourself and better about your students. So, I think, you know, just be happy about that decision.
Yeah, totally.
Because I can be almost on my toes with my brainwaves.
Charter school
So
friend
with
brainwaves,
negative
remember that?
brainwaves from like the audience, because I know that there are alternatives who are looking, so like that's maybe part of something also. But I'm thinking mostly about like maybe Southwest and our experience of when we're usually I'm really thinking about building positions for each of them that may have happened to charter school. So or for other schools. So I just we want to put that kind of caveat so that there is
Yeah, no hiring timelines, check out the alumni blast, also get to know everybody in the room. Right. Greatest resource, right here. But anyone else, I think, Sean, Andrew, do you want to chime in on that?
Just talk to your administration when you feel comfortable, and then talk to them again in the future to remind them just in case. And then probably just bring it up one more time again, just in case they miss that, because they're going to be more receptive. If you say it once and they think, maybe they really want to stay, maybe they're just kind of holding on to something, make sure you bring it up, and once you're definitely set on it, just keep bringing that message home.
If you know you're staying, you know people are leaving, we'll start stealing the resources for next year.
There you go.
Borrow.
All right, our first audience question. How did job security impact your decision? How did you have those conversations with your admin? Or wait, sorry. How did those conversations with your admin go? So how did job security impact your decision, and how did, I'm guessing, those tough conversations with your tougher, more conversations with your admin go?
The 2009 Corps was in a really unique situation in the sense that I think every 2008 was pretty much let go if they were in the district. The 2009, we had the opportunity, if we were still interested, if we wanted to write a letter of intent to stay with the district. I assumed that my letter was outstanding, and that's why I'm still here. So I think that there's going to be a difference based on changes in the district, or if you're at a charter, or whatever school you're teaching at now.
Yeah, that's an interesting point that you bring up. So you think that your letter was obviously outstanding, but within your control, what are some things you can do to ensure that you have a job at your replacement school, or if you decide to move campuses?
Well, for myself, I was away, and I was probably 100% sure I was not going to be at my business school. So the first thing I started to do was go to people that were 08s, 09s, and start figuring out, okay, you guys are at a charter school, how you guys hiring, start applying other places. So I basically go to teaching them first, and try to figure out, okay, I heard your school's great. Can you tell me more about it? Can you put me in touch with your administration? So just using those people as hookups to know, this is the guy, and just using my friends.
So getting and using each other in this community as resources. Okay. Cool. Anyone else have any advice?
I think you also have to come to a place where you just recognize what is in your control and what's not. I've never felt like I had that much job security just because the superintendent who was at my school the longest fired people all the time for who knows what reasons. And there were times where we'd be just like day-to-day scared, like, oh, I wonder if I'll get fired today. And I just had to come to this conclusion for myself that, okay, if I'm going to sit here and like stress out about it every day, then that's going to end up impacting my students in a negative way. So what's in my control and what's not in my control, and what do I need to do just to keep my mindset right and just trust that things are going to work out the way they're supposed to.
Would anyone else like to jump in or should we move on? Next question. Where do you see your career and or personal cause going in the next few years? How do you think your post-core teaching years have pushed or affected that? Great question. Where do you see your career and or personal cause going in the next few years? How do you think your post-core teaching years have pushed or affected that? Maybe you can speak to advocacy in your role.
Sure. Yes, I'm a teacher fellow this year for Students First, and it's been a really amazing opportunity. And I've really come to, like I already said this once, just understand how important the teacher voice is in the movement. I testified in front of the legislature last spring a couple of times on education reform bills, and when I sat in front of the legislators, like they listened. They really listened. The teacher voice is one that needs to be the loudest and unfortunately the quietest, and it's also the one that politicians, in my opinion, listen to the most carefully when it does come in front of them, which unfortunately is not very often. So for me, I just recognize that if I want to have a great impact in the broader education reform movement, the most powerful voice I can have is the voice of a teacher advocate.
We'll take one more. Is there anybody else that would like to speak to that? And this will be our final answer for this panel this evening.
I think actually the time that I spent my last year and 16 weeks now that I have been out of the court, every week is more and more like I might stay in the classroom for a while. And I say that like as like hesitation because I never ever like thought that would be me and like peace out after you and be like, you're in this forever, boss. And don't say that, don't say that, don't do it. But actually like I'm gonna get myself in trouble and end up teaching like for 10 years or something like that. Just because it still is challenging. Like, after 4 years it's still so fulfilling and it's fun and like I still and all of these things that I didn't think that teaching would be, it still is. Like the reason that I did my third year still exists now in my fourth year. It still makes me want to come back and teach it later. So like yeah, I think that that's how like staying in has affected my career plans. Because like, the longer I'm in the classroom, like I'm like I can do this for like terrifying long.
Anyone else? Final thoughts? I think that was appropriate for the time, so we will wrap it up. Before you go, so first of all, let's give our panelists a round of applause.